Hello, everyone. Welcome to our course, Managing Across Borders. My name is Masood Maslapur. I'll be your instructor for this semester for this asynchronous course. The name of the course, Managing Across Borders, and the course number is MGMT 4050-86. My name is Masood Maslapur, and for the ease of matters, usually my students call me Dr. M. This course is going to be going on from January 20 to May 10th of this year. I will be covering three topics in three different videos. The first thing we will do is to talk about the syllabus. Just go briefly over the syllabus, and then I'll talk to you about the student opinion, and then we'll go into Cengage. So let's talk about our syllabus first. There are some basic information in the syllabus, and I have already put the syllabus on the canvas. The first part will be about the course and my name and the name of the book and the version of the book that we're going to use. As you know, we're going to use the Mind Tab version. I have seen already some of you registered for the course and registered for Mind Tab and already have started doing your homework. So very good for those people who have already got on the board, got on board and going well. If you need some information about departmental contact regarding your course matters, for example, overloads, waiting lists, and things like that, you can refer to the department, our course description. Basically, we are going to be exploring the management across different cultures and see how it will work with different people from different background. Now, when we say culture, it doesn't necessarily mean a culture from another country. Although the examples are there, but you could work in one company and move to another company in the same country, but the culture could be different. The course material is a MindTab version of the book, and we will go through MindTab later. For the letter grade, you can also see it's a little bit more difficult to reach the A and A minus. And, the remainder is more relaxed and could be easier to reach. So you should always aim for an A and then see where it goes. If there's anything that is wrong with the course or you're having big problem, please contact me as soon as possible. Now, certain things I won't be able to do. For example, I can't make any exception for anyone for any reason. And I have made that clear in the syllabus, and I will make it clear again. So please do not ask me for personal favors, but please do communicate with me if there are some concerns, like the website is down, or there are some interruptions of in your studies. Again, I can't do any personal favors for people, but if I see that there is a general concern, I can adapt to it, I can resolve it, and give the same opportunity to everyone in the class. And then the other information, again, is for your information, sort of like FYI regarding the class and the procedures for different reasons, such as appeals. These are what we have to post, so it's posted. And here, um, I wanted to mention that if there are late assignments, you should not let it happen. In other words, you should not let late assignments happen because the assignments will disappear and you won't be able to reach the assignments that is past due date. So we will go through the Cengage again and I will tell you how to organize yourself. But once assignments are past due date, they can't you can't reach them. Okay, so this is basically a very short introduction to the syllabus. If you have other questions, then please let me know. Next, I wanted to talk to you about some of the previous semester's comments. I always appreciate and even sometimes give extra credit if the whole class will participate in the SOTIs. So if such an opportunity comes up, please do participate in the SOTIs. And as you know, it's anonymous. I won't see them until after you have received your grades. But it helps me a lot to know what you are expecting of this class and of me. And also, it helps me to communicate with the future classes about the previous concerns. I'm pretty sure some of those concerns might become your concern after you go through this course. So then I thought, well, let me just use a way to give advanced understanding of how I run this course. Let's see if it helps. At least you are not, there's no miscommunication, to say the least. So for the comments that I have already also posted, the 7-page comment, I encourage you to read it. I may even give you a quiz over it, but so far, let's just make it an educational or informational process. There are some positive feedback from the students. I don't have no argument or no answer, no, no response to those. And these are the feedbacks about the course specifically, and maybe something related to the instructor. All right, such as communication and responsiveness. But the course itself is self-paced learning. So the times are flexible. You want to get up at 4 a.m. to study, or you have to study at 4 p.m., at noon, or midnight. It's really up to your time and your learning style. Some people are morning people, some people are night people, some people have work to do at night, so they can do it in the morning, and vice versa. And because this method of learning is flexible, also there is little personal communication. And that's the drawback of this sort of learning. And then I try to make sure that everything is consistent. The assignments are consistently due in the same day of the week. same time of the day, and everything is announced to you ahead of time at least twice. And plus, you should always check your Canvas calendar and also the Mind tab. Now, here let's go to the criticism. I think this is a little bit more interesting for me. The first one is that there's limited direct instruction. Some of the students they said that the direct teaching is not there. They felt that it's just they're learning by themselves. That's true. That's the nature of the course. The nature of the course is that the people who want to participate in this course in this way, they are the people who are looking for, a flexible schedule, and they are disciplined enough to go through the self-learning. My job is to provide the material, and as you will see, I will provide videos of YouTube, majorly on YouTube in the Mind tab. So you can just click on the videos. There is an ebook, so you can read it. There are index cards. You can practice with the concepts as far as memorization is concerned. So there is very little human interaction between the instructor and the students. And because the course is asynchronous, then we will not be, online at the same time. That has its advantages and disadvantages. The same thing as face-to-face classroom. By all means, face-to-face class is my favorite. But this is another type that I participate in teaching because I also need to know how to improve this, because this still has a lot of question marks for me, this type of teaching. But I learn from the students who make comments. I learned that the students, for example, complain because in some cases, maybe about this case in this course too, I will assign students to go through Coursera. Coursera is another self-learning platform. Students can learn, and on their own, they watch the videos and so on. But the most of the time, the complaint is that the videos are also the instructor just saying the same thing that is in the book. So we are not idiots. We can learn by ourselves. Tell us just once, and we can know how to do it. And I am personally not a person that likes to be repeated, the same material in a boring way. I like the repetition, but in case you create for me some different ways, I would appreciate it. So if it's in class, I have different ways to engage you, but it's not. And so we're gonna have to understand that this is the nature of this course. So in this course, I try to make it a little easier, or a different way of learning. What is the different way of learning, which I think it comes up later, but let me just explain to you here. The different way of learning is that you will learn not by sitting in one place and memorizing, rather by reading and finding out the practical solution, or the practicality of that concept. So sometimes we do need to memorize, but this memorization doesn't have to happen by sitting and memorizing. It can happen by just going through, finding out you don't know, and then go back to read something you didn't know, because probably you know a lot of it already, but you may not think so. All right. And all the material in Cengage is auto-graded. Um, in some instances, there might be some case studies that is peer graded, or it could be graded by me. And I will have to see how students are moving and if there is room for extra things to do. So my job is not to make your life very busy. My job is to make things easier for you and for um, myself and the people who have learning, who have different learning style. All right. So the other concern is that repetitiveness and the time consumption. The course was occasionally criticized for being repetitive and time consuming, with some students feeling that previous chapters' content was overemphasized. Okay, so again, thanks for these comments. And I have to explain about the concept of test enhanced learning. This teaching method is based on the concept that you take the course, take the test first, and then you go study. They call it also flip classroom, right? Generally, I have to lecture, you have to read the book, then you take the test. I'm thinking it's better to go reverse, especially for this type. First, because in this type, you're in the self discovery. You need to find out what you don't know. What you know is good, but you need to know what you don't know. And most of the time, we know more than what we think we know. So, in this method, the key components are first is an initial assessment, then we decide what to learn, and then we reassess. All right. So, what is it that relates to this course? Is that one way to do this course, again, there are many different ways. One way to do this course is that you go and take the test first. And you find out what you do not know. And there are different kind of tests. There's a minor test, major test. You take the test first and you find out what you don't know. You make a note of those things you don't know. And when you get the answers, also there are some hints. So maybe those hints already help you to learn why did you miss that question. But if those hints are not good enough, then you have what? You have the ebook and you have chat GPT and you have a whole internet into your disposal. You can find out what is it. When you know what is it that you don't know, you can find out how to get the answer and how to learn about it. And then you can take the test again. So maybe you say, what? I take the test again, but I already took the test and I didn't get a good grade. So what are you talking about? But some of you may be familiar with MindTap already. And MindTap can be set up differently. So for this course, I have set up every test that is for grading, that influences your grade. Every test you can take it 3 times. Homework test, not the midterm and final. Midterm and final is only once and it won't be repeated. But you can, during the time that you are able to do that homework, you can start taking the test up to 3 times. And what about the grade? Well, a nice teacher that I am, usually your grade is going to be the best result. So out of the 3, whichever grade is the highest one, it will record it for your grade. And that's it. You have learned the topic, and then you also already got a good grade. I mean, I'm pretty sure if after this first time, in the second time, you already should be in the high 80s or mid 80s in your grade. And if you have time and you want to make it to 90s, well, that's perfectly all right. I mean, there is a chance there, but it depends on your time. All right. Then there is a theoretical foundation for what I'm doing. It's not like I just, wake up and came up with this idea. And these, again, I mentioned, these are the different methods you can read, or you can even, Google them. Uh, but the benefits of them, which concerns you, is that it's motivating because you learn and you see the result. Of course, the questions not exactly the same questions. The answers are not always exactly the same answers. You have to understand the concept. So please don't think that, oh, I'm going to get the same question. I'm going to just write ABC and answer. No, it's not going to happen that way because there is a pool of, a few hundred questions, and every time you take the test is different question, but it's the same concept. So please understand the concept, not the memorize the questions. And in this way, you can improve your retention without really sitting there and memorizing. You just repeat the same thing to you again. You take the test, you find out what you don't know. There are some video tubes, some video YouTubes there you can watch, and also then you can read the notes, the book. You can take the test again. I think this is very, very active way of active learning, which is my favorite. All right. So the emphasis of this mm, way is that you are actively engaged with the course, and also it's personalized. Some people are, you know, fast learners. Some people maybe take them longer to remember something, just like me. So why not give everyone a chance? Because the end result is what I care for. All right. And of course, this is a synchronous course online, and there is no personal interaction. I would not have any of my videos explaining the same thing that is in the book already, because the book can be read to you already. If you want somebody to read the book, it's also possible. Me repeating the same thing that's in the book is not really necessary. And me trying to explain to you some lessons, again, is not necessary, because so many students have told me, you teachers are so boring. And you repeat the same thing again. We can read it, we can find it. And then, there's so much more animated, instructional opportunities out there. Why do I have to listen to the same thing that you are reciting from the book? And of course, when the professors have to do a lot of other things, they don't have so much time to come up with some animated, feature explaining a topic. But those can be found in the YouTube or other videos. So why not? Why don't I bring those to you? So my job is to lead you to find what you're trying to find out. All right. And then, bottom line, the percentage analysis is that, throughout the past few years that I'm teaching, it's about 75 to 80% positive, and 20 to 25% are mm, criticism. And some of them very constructive. Some of them I have designed the course to make things better, as I am doing this introduction of the course and the student's opinion for the very, very first time. So again, the conclusion is that you need to be self-disciplined for this course. You don't need to put too much time in learning. If you go the way I mentioned about like a flipped classroom, You take the test, you find out, you have to write down what you don't know, right? And again, when you do the test, there are practice tests. If you do the practice test, which is no influence on your grade, there are hints of why you got those answers wrong. Then you can go take the test. And another thing is that some of those questions or some of those concepts will, may, and will appear in the next chapter questions. So you the again the basis for that is that you are practicing and things are being repeated to you and you remember it. How do we remember a song? We don't really sit and memorize the lyrics unless we really, really like the song and we really, really want to go perform it, right? We hear the song, we are driving and we hear it. It goes to part of our memory and then we hear it again. Of course, it's more rhythmic. So the rhythm and the repetition of the lyrics will help us study or remember the song. I'm trying to do this with current platforms that is available, and so far I found Cengage is the best. But if there are other platforms or other ways that actually it will make the learning more rhythmic, of course I will also uh, be the first one to use them. But in the final words, the responsibility of choosing the right class is with you. You're adults, just like in for anything else. You choose your job, you choose your partner. You should choose the class and the way that you are better to adopt, or the way that overall, again, there's no best way or best class or best learning style or best teaching style. It's all relative. Whatever matches you and your schedule the best is what is matter. Whatever matches your personal learning style. So I hope that this explanation gives you some view of the course, before you are too involved. It's right now you can perfectly change to a different section that is like a in person section, and you can take the class with the way that you are more comfortable with. But again, if you have any questions about this or any discussion, you feel free to add comments to the Mind tab. I'm sorry, to the Canvas comments. So I'm very happy to hear from you and other classmates maybe have the same question. All right. The third topic that I wanted to share with you has to do with Cengage. And so we're going to take a look at the structure of Cengage. Of course, like I said, some of you are already maybe familiar with that. And we are going to just take a look at some basics. If you have some more questions, there are a lot of sources to consult, which is in your Canvas. So I will go to that and also mention about that. Now, the course that we have, I will go over some basics. First of all the assignments are already designed and the due dates are already predetermined. So when you come here, what you can do in order to find out what is it that you have to do for certain dates, you can change this to weekly calendar, and you can go to every week and you will know what is due when. All right. And the other thing you can do is to come to this page. You can expand all of these. Like I said, I have had several videos for every topic, for every chapter. And those videos will be updated because there are newer videos come up. So every semester there might be different videos. And then you can go here and see if you want to know what is it going to be counting toward your grade, you can click that. So everything that has a orange dot beside it, that is something you can use that will be used for your grade. Everything else is for your practice. So if you take this out, then you can see, for example, that every chapter uh, has a lot of materials to study by. These flashcards, and this is your ebook. Reading the ebook, going through the flashcards, and so on is a practice. The practice will be evaluated through the homework. So you can then go through the homework and figure out the test. Different ways I have already mentioned. You could take the test and then you can go and see what you need to study for, right? Okay, so let's take a look. And if we go, for example, to our midterm, you see there's a practice midterm and there's actually a test. Because midterm you cannot take 3 times or 2 times. Midterm is once and it's only available for certain dates and it's gone. So you need to make sure that you do take the midterm in those dates, and of course it's timed, so it's 2 hours. But when you take the practice, there are similar questions or maybe the same questions. It would be some hint as why this answer, why that answer. You can use that as a study way of doing things. Like I said, also you can go to the ebook in here, and the ebook has all the material, and also it can help you prepare for your lessons. It has the flashcards, and it can also be read to you, as I mentioned. If you're just driving or you are going by your everyday life or walking in the campus, you can use this because there's also the app for the Cengage, so you can use the app. I think there's not much other things from your side to learn about this. Everything else, I think you have already practiced. Perhaps you're much more electronically aware than I am. Like I mentioned, we have, in my end, I can see your progress and your grades. Right now, in my grade book, I have only few people. 12. In the whole class, 12 students have enrolled, and you can see they have tried. And there are some grades. You can, the only tests that are not repeatable or retakeable, I should say, are the pre-course assessment, post-course assessment, midterm, and final. So take those again. Pre-course assessment is just a pre-course assessment. Don't worry so much about your grade in that. Just try to do your best, and then we will see how your final and your post-course assessment goes. There are enough points that you don't have to worry about the points. 1 or 2 points here and there is not going to be so crucial for you. because we are gathering a lot of points, and there will be some extra credits for those of you looking for some in different forms. So I hope you just don't worry about your grade. And you see, all these students who have joined already are licensed and are active students. So I think I have to say thank you for starting so early, and thank you for keeping up with the schedule. As you can see here, we're going to end up with almost 2,500 points. So if you miss 1 point here and there, I wouldn't be so upset about, because in the span of matter for 2,500 points, 1 point would not make any influence in your grade. All right, and so this is the story with Cengage. All right, so when you come to the canvas, you have also a series of information. You have the calendar here. See, that tells you what is due that day, and you can also go to the calendar, and the due dates for the assignment should be there. So there's no really reason for you to miss any assignment, knowing that there will be assignments every week. So you have to keep in mind that there will be assignments every week, and you should make a note of it for every week that you are in this course. All right. Now, if you have any questions or comments, I'll be happy to answer them. You can send it in the group discussion, or you can send it individually. I wish you a very good semester. I'm here to help and not to judge, but as a part of being fairness, we need to make sure that school requires what the school requires is accomplished. Thanks again, and have a good week.